Okay, good evening. I'm called Kennedy Juma Mangwe. Today I would like to talk about on how to prepare nursery bed and all. Apart from nursery bed preparation, I'll also talk about the nursery bed management practices, and then lastly over the same, I'll also talk about the factors to consider when siting a nursery bed. So first of all, I would like to talk about the site selection, and under that I'll have to consider some of the factors that should be considered when preparing a nursery bed. One of the key factors is the water sources. Then number 2, we have the topography of the land. Number 3, the direction of prevailing wind. Then number 4 over the same is the type of the soil. Those are some of the key factors to consider when preparing soil, when selecting site for a nursery bed. Then number 2 over the same, I will also talk about the site selection, whereby you'll have to choose a sunny or a well-drained location for protection, with protection from strong wind. Number 2, soil preparation. You have to dig a shallow pit or analyze the soil. Amend the soil organic matter, compost, manure to improve the fertility and water retention. Then lastly, mix the soil to create a uniform feature. Then Step 2, we will also talk about the seedling planting. Seedling planting will have to consider the following key areas. 1, we will consider the seed selection. Seed selection means you'll have to select those quality planting materials. Choose high quality seeds from the reputable sources, as this means you'll be able to minimize the high rate of seed diseases. Number 2, for you to access or for you to get high rate of germination, you'll have to consider the soaking as the option materials. More so, some seeds benefit from soaking in warm water for a few hours before planting to soften the seed coat. Then we move to planting. You have to make shallow furrows in prepared bed. Number 2, space the seedlings according to the based on the planting materials. Then cover the seeds lightly with the soil. Water gently to moisten the soil. Mulching also should also be carried out to apply, whereby you have to apply a layer of mulch. For example, you can as well use the grasses or banana leaves. And the main purpose of having this mulching stage, number 1, to retain the water. Number 2, or to aerate the soil. Number 2, you should be able to smoothen the width. Then lastly, you should be able to improve the rate of evaporation. Then I want us also to talk about the nursery management practices. These are some of the nursery management practices. 1, you have the watering. Now, if at all you are carrying out watering practices on a nursery bed, remember watering is only carried out on a nursery bed twice a day. That is morning hours and evening hours, especially during the hot day. Number 2, weeding. Weeding mainly is being carried out when it comes to control of weeds and some unwanted materials. Number 3 is all about fertilizing. Fertilizing, it means you have to apply a fertilizer at a recommended size based on the size of the nursery bed. Then pest and disease control, that means we should be able to monitor the seedlings for the signs of pests and diseases by taking the appropriate actions. Then lastly, over the same, hardening off before transplanting the seedlings to the garden, gradually to expose them to outdoor conditions, to acclimate them to the elements. Then point to consider, or the additional points over the same, you have to consider the using a nursery trays or pots on individual seedlings. Then number 2, you also label with the plant names and the planting dates. That means you'll be able to identify the dates of planting and the name of the planting materials. Then you also protect the seedling from pests and other animals, either by using the curtain nets or raw covers. Lastly, transplant the seedlings when they reach the suitable size and have developed strong roots. A point to note, which is very important, the specific procedures may vary depending on the type of plants you are growing. Then the local climatic condition, consult the local gardening resources or experts for more tailored advice. Thereafter, it comes to an end on how you should be able to consider, you should be able to carry out nursery bed management practices, planting procedures, and others. Thank you.